So, okay, good. So this is a 1929 Elto high-speed quad. They were rated around 25 horsepower.
And you made a comment about it to me the other day?
Yeah, well, it's a complex engine that I think that the Elto company was kind of going down a path that was really a very complex engine for people to run, and probably not. I think somebody in the Antique Outboard Motor Club stated a few years ago that it was an engineer's engine for engineers. And but anyway, it's an example. It's a good example, and poppet valves always stick. And the factory must have realized, or dealers must have realized, that happens. So they have, there's holes drilled under the carbs, under the bodies of the carbs, and this wire there's a hole there someplace. There we go. So you can push the
Get one side going?
Well, I'm going to do them all.
Oh, okay, you can do them all on this one, okay. If you listen, you can hear it going.
Yeah. That's getting fuel into the crankcase, or?
No, it's just getting the valves unstuck.
Okay.
Because this thing, instead of having reed valves, it has automotive type air actuated valves. When there's a vacuum behind them, they open up and pull in the gas air mixture, which is on the rim of the valve.
Okay. So starting is accomplished by rocking fuel in. There's no chokes, there's no throttles. So you just rock fuel in, and it should be set to go. So hot starting, these engines flood really easy. And if you read the instructions, they actually talk about when you're idling in or about to shut the engine off to close both mixture screws almost all the way off, or even shut them down, because it'll every time you do that to try to start it, it takes in a charge. So if it's already flooded and you keep trying to start it, you get it flip more and more and more flooded. This one's not really flooded, I don't think, so I think it may. When we ran it, you saw lots of smoke, and this calls for 1.5 pints of oil per gallon of gasoline, and which is a real lot by today's standards. But it's really important to know that this engine is a plain bearing engine. There's not a roller bearing in it, and these engines tend to self-destruct. And when you look at a few examples over the years, you can see some connecting rod breakage damage, marks inside the crankcase and all. So they need lots of oil to stay together. And especially the high-speed version, which this is, it has auxiliary air intakes under the exhaust ports, which draw in fresh charge air, which doesn't have any fuel in it. So it tends to lean the engine a lot. And that's why you have to really richen the engine. Once you get running over a certain speed, you have to actually really, really richen it up. So
you virtually need someone from Evinrude to run, to keep it going, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. That's why I think I said before, this is not...
This is a mechanic's or an engineer's motor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of them kicking
now,
around.
The competition for this engine was the Johnson V45.
Okay.
Which is a 4-cylinder, right.
I have that motor.
And they're probably even faster than these. They're only 40 cubic inch. This is 50 cubic inch.
Yeah.
Okay. And those engines are much less complex. They're actually, I think, engineered for most people to run them. They have that compression release charger.
And do they have a bacteria carburetor?
No. Still